Next up for England then, Hoggy, this 7-match tour of Sri Lanka. Just give us your thoughts looking ahead to that one.
Tough tour. Any tour to a subcontinent country is very difficult. Sri Lanka obviously just been over to India and lost, so they'll have a point to prove back into their home country. And again, building up for the World Cup for Sri Lanka, they'll be looking to get some form as well. So England running into a wounded Sri Lanka will have implications. I'm sure the home advantage will be taken, but again, what a fantastic opportunity for the England squad to go out and play very competitive games, to get into situations that they'll train their brain to get some muscle memory, say like this is how we win games from here, or this is where we went wrong. And Alistair Cook to stamp his authority on the squad, and for Peter Morse to come up with some good ideas that are going to win games of cricket in Sri Lanka, to put them in a good stead when they go to Australia.
The squad that's been named for the Sri Lanka team, no Jimmy Anderson, he's pulled out with injury, no Stuart Broad, Ravi Bopara's back and James Taylor's recalled. Your sort of thoughts on the squad as a whole? Yeah,
I'm going to say it's obviously the best squad that we can pick. Obviously, Ravi's, I think, still got unfinished business in international cricket. He shows glimpses of being world class and fantastic. Needs to a little bit more consistency into his game, and maybe not being left to the last sort of like last beat of the heart before he's thrown in and saying, right then, can you rescue us from an impossible situation? His bowling's underrated. As you say, James Taylor has been knocking on the door now for the last 4 years. He got a little chance in against South Africa with Kevin Peterson. Not being too favourable with James Taylor, but James has had a fantastic year in one-day cricket. He'd say his 4-day cricket was a little bit disappointing, but it's a one-day tour, it's the World Cup, it's 50 overs, so you've got to pick people in form, and James Taylor certainly has been in form for Notts. And again, it gives everybody else opportunity to fight for the places. Jordan, obviously, exciting talent. Go over and play on slower wickets, but again, with the bat as well, he can add another thing to his batting as well. So Alistair Cook's got some headaches for which team he's going to be playing. He's already said that there might be a little bit of difference between the 11 that play in Sri Lanka and the 11 play in Australia, depending on the pitch, which is horses for courses, which is fantastic that we have the depth and resources to play on. But again, it ultimately comes down to scoring more runs than Sri Lanka.
What about Alistair Cook at the top of the order, though? Because we've seen Rohit Sharma hit 260. I know it's probably too late now to sort of change anything before the World Cup, but moving forward, is his position under threat, do you think?
He's been under pressure now for the last 2 or 3 years, and if you look at his stats, I think his strike rate's at 77, his average is at 36. So he's played a lot of international cricket, and he can be the platform that England can build around. And I think Alistair Cook's form is vital. If he scores runs at the top of the order, we generally get a fairly decent total. So Alistair Cook has had some time off. He's had a month off to recoup, to get away from the press, to get away from all the hard questions, just to go back and be a normal human being back on the farm and raising the lambs. So just come into a one-day series fresh, with only one-day cricket coming up, is going to be a massive boost for him, and hopefully that's put him in a fantastic place and done the hard work in the nets and everything else to allow him to score runs that is vitally important for England at the top of the order.
I mean, he made all the right noises at the press conference, very positive and excited about the tour, the challenge ahead. What is key to winning in Sri Lanka? You mentioned sort of slow pitches there. They play in Colombo, they play in Hambantota, they play in Pallekele.
The way they play the spin, I think, we've historically been poor against rotating the strike and scoring runs against spin come on, and we tend to the run rate tends to slow down. So not losing wickets in clusters at the top of the order, and then how we rotate the strike and make sure that we are scoring at a good rate against spinners is going to be a bit pivotal for the batters. And then from our spinners, how we bowl at their batters, we need early wickets. It's not rocket science, is it? When you look at any game of cricket, it's not rocket science. It all comes down to doing the basics well. So whoever does the basics well, will win the game of cricket, with the odd performance thrown in here and there, as you say, Rohit Sharma 200 plenty. So it's basic cricket, played very well, will come out on top, and England need to do that and find a way against spin.
Prediction then, 7-match series. Let's hope the rain doesn't play too much of a part, but a prediction.
Yeah, well, prediction, I'm going to say that Sri Lanka are just going to be a little bit too strong for England with the home advantage, but very close games.